All right, 7th grade. Today we're going to talk about sales tax, tips, and markup. Now this is something that we use all the time and as an adult I use it all the time. Whenever I go out to eat, when I'm trying to figure out what the sales tax will be on something. So this is, when students ask, what does this have to do? When am I going to use this? What does this have to do with real life? Well, this is it, folks. This is real life stuff. So we're going to be working from pages 73 and 74 today in your books. So if you could turn to those pages and have a calculator handy and ready to go. All right, so on page 73 we have some problems here, and it asks us to find the total cost to the nearest cent. Now we'll have to draw upon our knowledge of percents and decimals in order to solve these, but there's multiple ways of solving them. So if you can do it mentally, that's great as well. So we are looking at a CD player, and you probably don't know what those are, for $49.95. And we want to know how much we're going to pay if there is a 5% tax on that. So we could set up a proportion if we wanted to. We could say, okay, well, 5% is like saying 5 out of 100, right? Equals, we don't know what that 5% is, but we know that we're paying $49.95. And I'll kind of show you two ways to do it, all right? I'll show you how to kind of work with an equation to find that, or to set up a proportion like this. So we know we can multiply, cross multiply. So we know that 100 times x is 100x is equal to, and if we did 5 times 49.95, you could do that on your calculator, we get $249.75. If I can get that decimal in there. All right, and then we know we just divide by 100. And if we did that, we're just basically moving the decimal over 2 places. So we're going to just move it over here if we're dividing by 100. And we're going to round to the nearest cent. So nearest, there's a 9 there, so it's 249, but there's a 7 over here, so we're going to run that up to 250. So what does that mean in the context of this problem? It means that the sales tax on a CD player for that much money is $2.50. Okay, I'm going to show you really quick another way to do it, and this is kind of the, I don't know, I like this way. I just take, sometimes I'll have a calculator with me, and I'll just take 5 cents, and you can multiply it by 49.95. So we're going to do that. We can just do 0.05, and remember, 0.05 is just the decimal version of 5%, times by 49.95, and that of course gives us, it will on the calculator give us 2.4975, but we would need to round to the nearest cent. So look at the number to the right of it. That will again tell us that it's $2.50 for tax. So now that we've shown how to find the tax, we need to make sure we remember to add it on to our total of $49.95. So $49.95 plus $2.50 is equal to $52.45. So the price of the CD player plus tax, that's what that would equal. Okay? All right. So let's skip down to number 4. Now we could do it both ways. I'm just going to take the shortcut. I'm just going to move the decimal place over on the 5.5% markup of the $2.99. So if I did that, I would take my $2.99 and multiply it by, move the decimal place over, So it would be 0.055. Okay, so I'm going to do that on my calculator. 2.99 times 0.055, and that equals 0.16445. Now remember, we're rounding to the nearest cent, so 6 is in the hundredths spot. We'll look at the number to the right of it, and that's going to stay at a 6. So basically what we're saying is we're doing a markup of 16 cents. So that means, and if you don't know what markup means, it just means we're increasing the price of something by 16 cents here. Okay, so we're going to add that on to the $2.99, so that would be $3.15 would be the price, the new price. Okay, so here on the next page, on page 73, and I guess I should have, or I guess this is 74. Page 74. All right, here it says Inez wants to buy a skateboard, but she does not know if she has enough money. The price of the skateboard is $80, and the sales tax is 7%. What will be the total cost of the skateboard? Now there's multiple ways of doing this. Okay, we can either figure out what 1% is and multiply it by 80, or we can set up a proportion or an equation. There's multiple ways of solving this. Now I'll kind of go back to the proportion way. I think we've done the equation a couple of times. Let's go back to the proportion way of solving it, or maybe we can do both. Okay, I'm just going to draw it down here. So if we're doing the equation way, we would just say 80 times it by, and maybe I'll do parentheses here, 0.07. Okay, that's going to tell us what the tax is. We'll still have to add it onto the total, or to the cost of the skateboard, which is $80. So if we do that, 80 times 0.07 is 5.6. Well, if it's a money amount, we know that's really $5.60, right? So we're going to add that on to the cost of the skateboard, which is 80, so that would be $85.60. Okay? Now if we're going to solve it as the proportion way, we'll just solve it. 7 out of 100, that's 7%, right? Is equal to something out of 80, and then solve 100x is equal to 560, right? 7 times 80 is 560. We divide by 100. We're basically moving our decimal over 2 places, right? And then we get 560 as well there. Add it on to the total of, or to the cost of the skateboard, and we would again have $85.60. Okay? We'll do one more here, number 2. It says Josiah went to the local barber to get his haircut. It cost $18 for the haircut. Josiah tipped the barber $15% of that. What was the total cost of the haircut, including the tip? Well, again, 15% of $18. Remember, the word of is multiply, right? So we're going to multiply our decimal form. A percent is a decimal. We could do 0.15 times 18. And if we did that on our calculator, we would get 2.7, which is really $2.70. Add that on to our $18 because we're paying 18 plus. That's just the amount of the tip, and that's going to equal $20.70. Okay. All right. Good luck on pages 73 and 74, and look for opportunities to use your knowledge of percents, of sales tax, tips, and markup. You can set it up as a proportion or an equation and use this stuff in everyday life. Good luck. Bye.